Chapter 6. Energetic Realignments. The soft hum of the diffuser filled Kirsten's home office, the subtle aroma of cedarwood and frankincense anchoring her focus. Sunlight filtered through the wide windows, casting warm patterns on the walls lined with books on metaphysics, neuroscience, and organizational dynamics. This was her sanctuary, where she bridged the gap between the seen and the unseen. On the desk before her, a simple crystal pendulum hung motionless over the stack of files. Each folder bore the SkyPath logo representing a facet of the company: leadership, engineering, and operations. But for Kirsten, these were more than documents. They were energetic signatures, each carrying the imprint of the people and processes they represented. She closed her eyes and breathed deeply, centering herself. The practice of Soul-Synchronization was not merely an intellectual exercise. It was an immersion, a way to align her consciousness with the fragmented energies of those involved. As her breathing steadied, she visualized the key figures she had spent the past weeks observing. Manny Duncan, the resolute CEO, Hailey Levens, the analytical CFO, and Maurice Carter, the dedicated but fatigued lead engineer. Their faces emerged in her mind, and with them the dynamics that tied them together, some taut, some frayed, all essential. Kirsten allowed the images to take form, each individual's presence feeling as if it were superimposed over her own. Her hands moved instinctively, guiding the pendulum in slow, deliberate circles above the files. She focused on Manny first, sensing his steadfast determination and the burden of carrying SkyPath's future on his shoulders. She whispered a silent affirmation: steadiness without isolation, clarity without rigidity. Next was Hailey, whose precision often masked her struggle to balance the spreadsheets with the human costs of decisions. Kirsten's words were softer here. Vision grounded in trust. Discernment layered with connection. Finally, Maurice. His energy was the most erratic, a rhythm disrupted by exhaustion and frustration. Kirsten lingered, aligning her breath with the imagined tempo of his heart. Resilience without resistance. Creativity nourished by support. As the pendulum stilled, a warmth spread through her chest, a familiar sensation that signaled alignment. She opened her eyes, exhaling slowly, and reached for her notebook. Each of their energies had shifted subtly, and she noted the insights that had surfaced during the session. The next day, back at SkyPath's headquarters, the effects of her work began to unfold. The morning leadership meeting felt different, as if an unspoken tension had eased. Manny's tone conveyed more assurance, inviting input rather than dictating terms. For the first time, Hailey raised a question about employee morale during a financial discussion. This comment drew surprised but thoughtful nods. And Maurice, instead of outlining problems, came prepared with a proposal, an innovative adjustment to the biofuel injection system that could cut production delays in half. The team's response was immediate. Hailey volunteered resources to test the feasibility of Maurice's idea, and Manny scheduled an expedited review session to bring the operations team into the discussion. The momentum Kirsten had cultivated behind the scenes was manifesting in their interactions, each subtly, but undeniably attuned to the others. This collaborative response made everyone feel connected and part of a larger process. Later that week, during a meeting with SkyPath's board, the results were undeniable. The innovative production solution Maurice had championed was formally adopted, and projections showed a significant timeline acceleration. The board's discussions turned from skepticism to optimism for the first time in months. Investors previously concerned about delays began to express renewed confidence in the company's direction. In her office that evening, Kirsten reflected on the week's progress. She knew the visible results, the improved timelines and smoother leadership dynamics, were only a part of the transformation. Beneath it all was a deeper alignment that would sustain SkyPath's growth long after her work was done. She reached for her notebook, her hand pausing over the page before writing a single phrase. Momentum thrives on harmony. The words felt complete, but the work was far from over. Kirsten turned to the next file, ready to uncover the unseen threads that would guide her next steps. Her work was ongoing, and she was fully engaged and invested in the process of energetic realignment.